Hello, everybody out there in YouTube land. And happy 2026. Everybody and their mom is probably going to be talking about 2025 now that it's over with. And I'm no exception, I suppose, because looking back on 2025, we've seen some interesting stuff happen, right? We watched the Predator and Alien franchises get nerf batted so hard that they're pretty much unrecognizable as what they used to be. And they have now become kind of gray goo generic slop for the masses. I mean, Predators sitting down and talking about their feelings with, androids. I mean, like, I'm okay with half that equation, but not the other half. An Alien Earth series where, well, first off, it's not canonical, so I guess I shouldn't piss and moan about that too much. But still, it has so many plot holes and contrivances and silly stuff as far as the show goes that I can't begin to fathom how anybody in the writer's room thought that this was a passable series and that this was okay. I halfway think that when they came up with all the screenplay direction for all this stuff, it's almost like they got a different writer to write every single episode, but they didn't let that writer necessarily view the previous installments writing or anything. So I don't know how else to describe it. It's so disjointed, and apparently they're getting a second season. We did get a Fallout series that I actually enjoyed. I mean, yeah, it wasn't perfect. It wasn't 100% Wasteland accurate or anything else. I think, though, what left a bad taste in everybody's mouth more than anything is the fact that they said that it was canonical. And I think that was the worst possible thing they could have done by saying it was canonical, because that is when the show pissed me off. And now I have a much more dim view of it. Although I am watching this current season, and I'll have some things to say about it this episode. I don't really recall any particular movies that really stood out that came out in 2025 that really just got me really good. I mean, we saw Megan 2, which was kind of Disney-fied from the first Megan. We went from a horror story to a kind of a excitement story. I don't know how to describe it, but that's what happens when you drop a rating from R to PG-13 or whatever. We got the big news about, Doomsday, Marvel's new, let's try and save the franchise thing, while continuing to produce films that absolutely sucked and nobody watched. Disney shows that nobody watched. Star Wars that nobody likes. All I can say is I got to make fun of quite a bit of it, so yay. There was that. Pop culture is a strange animal. And on the one hand, I think things are healing and maybe getting better. Some of the things that are coming in 2026 are, there's a saying I always use with people, and I learned this a long time ago, and you know, take heart when this is good advice. But there are 3 kinds of people in this world. There are the people who learn by doing a thing. There are the people who learn by reading about what others do. And then there's that third group that has to go and piss on the electric fence and get their dick shocked and find out for themselves. And I think there's some companies out there that still, regardless, have not learned their lesson yet. Whoever's making Fable obviously needs to get their dick shocked in order to figure out that, hey, guess what? People are not going to buy this. They're not going to play this. You're going to lose a ton of money on this. And we're all just going to point and laugh at you. And as it is already, the game is so far behind in development. I mean, it's like, what? We first started making jokes about it back in, 2023? I think, maybe earlier. I don't even remember anymore. It's been so long. It's been so out of my mind. It has been that irrelevant to video gaming. And now they're trying to say, oh, we're going to bring it out. We're going to bring it out. And, and nobody cares. Nobody cares. They don't want to see it. They were turned off immediately with what they saw. And you've continued to try to plug in the same direction with a game that nobody wants to play. So good luck with that, guys. When you lose money, you could have looked at Ubisoft and what happened to them when they kept putting out games that nobody wanted to play with characters that were ugly. Yeah, that's another thing that happened in 2025 is Ubisoft pretty much tanked itself, shot itself in the dick as hard as it possibly could, and not content to learn their lesson from watching someone else. I believe it's Sucker Punch Studios who made Ghost of Yotei decided to do the same thing, had the same thing happen. I mean, 2025 is the year that we watched giants fall one after another. I mean, even WotC, that we make so much fun of, Wizards of the Coast, they released their game into complete irrelevance. Nobody really talks about D&D anymore. The hype train is dead. I don't know if the new edition is good or bad. I haven't picked up a copy of it. I haven't heard from anybody who's picked up a copy of it. Maybe nobody is buying it. Maybe nobody wants to play it. I don't know. Maybe I should try to convince Grim to run a game session of it, because he's about the only person I know who actually owns a copy of the books. I don't want to buy it. I don't want to play it. And I don't know if any of you do out there. It's become clear that there are a lot of other studios out there that are making good product that we would much rather play. So I don't know what's going on. 2025 wasn't necessarily a bad year overall. I made some new friends. I got closer to some other friends. And I lost a lot of people in 2025. So for me, 2025 was a year with a lot of personal loss and hardship. And I don't expect that to get better going forward. I mean, that's just the way it is. The older you get, the more people you start losing, especially if they're your age or older. We saw some great actors die. We saw a great director die. And that's kind of one of the sad things. I haven't really spoken about this, but, whatever you think about Rob Reiner's politics, he was a great director. When Harry Met Sally, pretty good movie. Not really my kind of movie, but it was good. Princess Bride, forget about it, man. All time, one of the best movies ever made. He did that. He got that cast together. He got that film made. And he's the one who managed to coax those performances out of those actors that we all love. And I know a lot of you out there have seen it more than once, probably more than 10 times, and can probably quote almost every single line of every single character from that show. In a way, it's probably more of a D&D movie than any other D&D movie ever made. But that was Rob Reiner. And maybe not as well known, but still just as awesome was Spinal Tap, which I loved the hell out of growing up. And I'm sad because much in the way that Gene Hackman passed away, I'm afraid that Rob Reiner won't be remembered for the great films that he did. He's just going to be remembered about being murdered. Gene Hackman, they weren't talking about his great performances. People don't remember Gene Hackman for Unforgiven and Superman and all these other films. They just remember the fact that he died under such weird and mysterious and sad circumstances. And I don't know, maybe it's a testament to the negativity that's crept into our society, that we've lost our heroes behind the circumstances of their death instead of what made them great in life. I don't know. Maybe that's what's going to happen to me in 2026. I'll kick the bucket somehow in some tragically mediocre way, and that's all anybody will talk about. Oh, T-shirt. Yeah, well, he had a YouTube channel, but did you hear how he died? Yeah. He fell forward face first into a train track and got run over, and I don't know. But anyway, here we are. It's 2026. Shit's already happening. Apparently we now control Argentina, at least for the foreseeable future for a little while. I don't know how that's going to turn out. I'm not a political channel. I don't really want to get into the politics of it. But I definitely didn't have that on my bingo card, for 2026. 2026, we take out the leader of a major country and now we control their country. So I am, like everybody else, I'm sure, pretty curious about which way that's going to go. I don't think we're going to be getting a 51st state, but I don't know. Maybe if there's enough corporations that can find a way to exploit it, I'm sure they will. They will try to make it happen. I mean, that's kind of how we got Hawaii. Anyway, happy 2026, guys. Let's bring on the rest of the panel and see what we got for today. Hello, Mr. Grimm.
Hello. And it's Venezuela, not Argentina.
Oh, Venezuela. My apologies. Yeah. Argentina's, yeah, Venezuela. My bad. I need more caffeine. Hey, Caster.
What he said.
And I'm sure Daniel's seething back there wanting to say some things.
Oh, all kinds of things. But now that's all right. Monroe Doctrine in the house.
Yep.
You know, T-shirt, I think your problem is you've been so shackled to the old properties that the disappointments of them not failing to hold up to your expectations has left you so glum, when there is great stuff out there, great alternatives out there. By the way, if you do want a good recommendation of a 2025 movie,
mm-hmm.
Deathstalker.
The new one?
Yes.
Okay, I haven't seen that yet. I will. I'm definitely, that's on my list to. I had forgotten about it. I need to go ahead and add it to my list of things to purchase when it comes out.
I was kind of laying in bed on New Year's Eve. I'm feeling terrible. I'm like, ugh, I don't even know if I want to get out of bed and go celebrate. I'm like, I'm just gonna lay down and watch this. And then I'm watching, Deathstalker tuck and roll midgets and throwing them around. As they're based, in a lot of ways, it felt like it should have been like a Warhammer fantasy movie with
Hey.
like some agents of a Nurgle cult.
Hey. Guess what? February 17th is the release date for the Blu-ray. So I'm pre-ordering it right now.
Well, if you want to pick it up a little sooner, don't want to wait. I would at least point out you could buy it on Vudu or Fandango for $5 right now.
We do physical media in this house, sir.
Yeah, but at $5, I'm willing to pay the price.
Okay, well, I mean, yeah, for $5.
Hey,
Especially for a brand new 2025 movie. Like, okay, either A, this thing severely underperformed. And apparently it's a Shout Factory film, so you might be able to just find it on streaming anyway.
That's true. And Discotech just released their latest releases. Well, for 2025, they got Digimon movies 4 through 6, which I'm sure gets you excited. They have Special Rescue Exceed Draft, which is another Sentai film, show, which I'll be interested in. And they got City Hunter 2 Complete Collection. If my friend George were still alive, he'd definitely buy it. We got Project Arms, which I'm not sure about, but Lupin the Third.
Anime.
Oh yeah,
Ooh, we can go for Lupin. All like 50 films.
yeah. I did get some stuff over the break though. A couple things, nothing major. But let's see. What do I got? Excuse the 7-Up cans, but yeah, I got the complete plus-sized Elf. I've never seen it before.
Ooh, that's a fun series.
But
Plus, half it winds up being, here's some basic exercise you can do at home.
I did get to watch Claymore. I had to subscribe to Crunchyroll for a 7-day trial period through Amazon because it's not shown on Crunchyroll itself. But I did actually get to sit down and watch the whole thing. And my question is, where the hell's the rest of it? And also, I don't know. Was it me maybe, or did it seem like it was a little bit draggy at times?
I think I tried to start watching it, and it never hooked me.
It has its moments, but I got Valkyrie Drive Mermaid complete series. I've never seen this before either, but I've heard this is one to get.
Lesbians.
I don't know
well,
why
then
you buy a plus-sized elf when all you got to do is, just scroll through Jack Lost Lore Scholar's X feed really fast, and there you go.
Seven Mortal Sins. This is an old classic.
I'm sensing a bit of a theme with your procurements.
Well, a lot of these are things that aren't available on Crunchyroll, and I'm tired of their sanitization. Here's a classic you definitely can't watch on Crunchyroll, but this is the old classic Demons 1 and 2, the Italian films, which are basically kind of Evil Dead-ish. But yeah, got a few things there, so I'm gonna enjoy. What about you guys? You get anything new?
Nothing spectacular.
Oh,
1000.
classic.
I started going down a little bit of a binge of my own physical media, but also doing the whole CD binder thing, as we've talked about.
You know you're going to regret that.
Maybe so, but a lot of these were also cheap movies where there's not exactly a ton of resale value to them. Like, I'm not gonna do that for like the big expensive 4K version, like Lawrence of Arabia. I paid like $35-$40 for.
Yeah.
But for these Toho Godzillas, they're like $8. Yeah, whatever. I'll throw those in there and save some space.
Speaking of which, and this is kind of a question that I guess could involve everybody, including the audience. I mean, okay, I'm a physical media guy. I love physical media. I have a lot of physical media, and I absolutely preach physical media versus digital. Buy the physical media, watch the digital, enjoy the digital, but always keep your backup, basically. But here's the thing. A lot of these physical media products, Blu-rays, they're being packaged with tons and tons of extra crap, usually from, stores like, Arrow Video or whoever. And, they've got like liner notes and screen stuff. I mean, it's like, I just saw Salute to the Jugger is coming out with a brand new edition. It's going to have the full rules of the game. It's going to have all these liner notes. It's going to have pictures and and I'm just kind of like, I don't want to pay $60 for a movie that already looks perfect as I have it now. And that's the thing. It's like, do you really need all this extra crap? Does it really add value to your Blu-ray, or was it more important that you just actually got to enjoy the film again? I mean,
it's that extra little bit of FOMO that'll convince you to maybe doing the upgrade. When at the end of the day, if the difference is between having the Blu-ray and having the 4K, and it's like, the extra bells and whistles, it's like, how badly do you care about that stuff to actually want to spend the extra $30 to upgrade to upgrade a movie you already have in your collection? Does that bring you more enjoyment, or do you just feel, are you just being sold on the pitch of it?
Well, here's the thing. This has been gnawing at me for the longest time. I do not have a 4K player. I have no plans to buy one anytime soon. But one of my favorite films is Dawn of the Dead, the George of Romero.
The thing is, with most 4K releases, you do get a regular Blu-ray disc in there as well. So you will be able to enjoy it, even if you don't necessarily have the player for the Kino, like, all the bells and whistles, like, most nicest video version.
Yeah, I'm aware of that. I'm fully aware of that. But here's the thing. I have a collector's edition of Dawn of the Dead that is on DVD that I bought years ago. And it's got like 3 different cuts of the film and some extra stuff on top of it. And it's perfect. It's beautiful. It's serviceable. Still looks good. But there's a new edition that's out, and I ended up buying it thinking, oh, Blu-ray. And no, it's all 4K. Has every single cut, has some even some more stuff to it, and it's all in 4K. So I can't watch any of it. And I hate to feel backed into a corner to buy Blu-ray, but apparently that sumbitch is one of the more difficult films to get. I mean, I don't even know if they make a good Blu-ray copy of it, which is kind of bullshit, because I mean, I can watch the entire movie for free on fucking YouTube.
Well, I guess there are a couple websites you could look at, like Blu.
And of course, he freezes right at the moment he announces the title.
Yes. They're watching. They're always watching.
They're always watching.
That's right. Hey, I got one physical media for you.
Hmm?
That's why in my Kickstarter, if you buy the physical, you get the digital.
Hey. Well, we need to talk to you about yours.
So
I think this is...
One of you two has to talk.
Linecaster ain't talking. He's just he's having sex with a robot over there.
Making noises.
I wish I were, but
About to say that sounds like one of those movies that T-shirt bought.
well, I mean, sorry, I got my kinks just like anybody else. Caster, when you started talking, you totally roboted out, so we didn't hear anything past. One of the sites you might check out is.
Do I sound okay now?
You do.
Okay. I was referring to a website called Blu-ray.com, where you can go and look up a movie, and you can see every single release of the film. So you could compare it, like the German release. You could check out all the special editions that ever released, all of those. Compare and contrast. Look at user reviews from all the different versions, and you can find ideally which one you might want to find, which one you might want to buy, and then also probably an Amazon link or an eBay link or to any of these other websites that you could probably pick that up at.
Okay, that's all well and good, except for one of the other things, which is I've seen this on Amazon as well as eBay, but a lot of times, these guys, they know what they're sitting on. They know that whatever they're sitting on is out of print, and they are not above selling, perfectly wrapped, brand new copies of whatever at prices that will just absolutely make your gonads drop.
Well, that doesn't diminish the website itself that I'm referring to.
No,
That's
no.
the problem.
That is a separate problem. I'm not talking bad about the website. The website, I'm sure, is useful. The only problem is it's just a lot of times when I get up on Amazon to find these titles right away, they have those alternate cuts already listed under the price headings, but you look at some of the alternate price and it's just like, I think one of the most ridiculous ones I saw was like $400 for, I don't remember what, but I was going to, what? I mean, who put this up here for $400?
It happens a lot.
Sometimes it's
I grabbed a copy of Terra Enigma for $20 a little while back, and just for fun hopped on eBay, and it's like you got people unboxed copy of Terra Enigma for $150, $200.
Yeah.
There's people selling unboxed copies of Earthbound for $700.
Ooh.
I'll wait for the day that the retro gaming crash finally hits. The thing is, it does seem like certain collector markets are starting to have that problem. Like, I've been seeing a lot of crash out stuff with Pokemon cards, for example, which is deservedly so because of the way these fucking scalpers were acting over the last 5 years.
Couple of things. I think a lot of these ludicrous prices that you see on big sites, it's because it's run by bots. So they compare themselves to the other prices and then top them over. But if every bot is doing that, then the price ratchets up to a stupid degree. And physical media and so on, I think we're seeing a bifurcation in the market in just about everything between the cheap, quick, easy fix kind of stuff on the one end. So, you want to watch a film, maybe it's available on streaming. Maybe you need to sign up for a couple of bucks a month to a streaming service that you'll forget about and be charged for forever. That's quick and simple. But if you're going to go physical, then they figure you want the luxury experience because you care about things like fidelity and extras, and you want to know all this extra stuff and you're willing to pay for it. So I think everything is going that way. You've got fast fashion on one end, but then you also have people on Etsy and stuff doing home tailoring and so on the cheap, relatively speaking, but it's hella expensive. Role-playing games, you've got churned PDFs on one end, and you've got things like Kingdom Death or big hardcover, fully illustrated books on the other. But I think there's a crash coming there.
God, I love Kingdom Death, but I cannot keep up with it. I just can't. There's so much stuff that is coming out every few months, and I mean, $60 for a box or $30 for a box or $100 for a box, and I'm just like, I can't afford them, and then when I do get them, I have to put them all together, which, God, I hate putting together shit. I really do. And then I got to paint them and everything to get them board ready. And it's just, I love that game so much, but shit, man, you got to make more money than I do to keep up with that game. Either that has to be your one life's passion and foregoing everything else, or you have to have more money than sense.
Right, but they're chasing that handful of whales that will pay. And that's all they need. Yeah?
Yeah. Well, I can't play that game, you know what I mean?
How's Zombicide treating you? How's Zombicide treating you?
Yeah. Yeah, that's a good intro for that. Why don't we go ahead and run that really quick? I've been waiting on that. And that is something that was announced last year. But we still haven't really seen anything beyond this. So there we go.
Finish your existing shit first, guys.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm still waiting on Cthulhu third season, and I still haven't seen the Godzilla sculpt stuff yet. But yeah, there's another edition of Zombicide coming out, and it looks pirate themed. And I've already seen some pictures of some of the upcoming ideas of the characters that they've got coming out for it. I'm a dumbass. I will probably go ahead and crowdfund that fucking thing, even though I still don't have any of my White Death shit painted at all. I've got Zombicide so far back. I haven't even touched it yet. I mean, I haven't even touched any of my Old West Zombicide yet. And that's been out for years. I mean, I'm so far behind on all my painting. It's just, I can't even. I guess if I played more, I would be driven to finish it faster.
Or you could get into 3D printing and then have problems like I did today with the nozzle.
Yeah, I'm still avoiding the 3D printing thing. I mean, I'm worried that's going to be a whole nother can of worms. And look who puts his head up to interject here, dudes. Patty, do you 3D print also? Yeah, the miniatures games, man, they will soak you. And it doesn't matter which one you get into. It doesn't matter if you 3D print your own stuff or not. They will all soak you. Because you're either going to be buying filament to 3D print shit, not to mention the printer itself.
And the STLs.
Huh? And the STLs. You do 3D print a lot? Okay, so you know.
But T-shirt, the difference is you're not getting the same kind of overhead cost, as well as you're not having the same amount of clutter of stuff you don't have yet. Honestly, I got the 3D printer. It totally changed the way I look at a lot of FOMO stuff. Where, let's buy it now for a limited time. And I'm like, I have a 3D printer now. For some of the stuff, if I really want it, why couldn't I just get the file and print it when I do want it? It's going to. And yeah, it will actually save you a lot of money that way too. Just think about how many different variations on zombies people have come up with that you could have for your game, so you never have two of the same unique scopes.
Well, I mean, this is the thing that Grim and I we can tell you from experience as far as Zombicide goes. If you wanted to, if you had some way of getting a hold of the rules by themselves and all the pieces you need to play, you could just actually print out all your own stuff. And, because the zombies really, the walkers are generic enough that you could use any old zombie models for that. And the sad fact is it doesn't matter how nice you paint up your walkers, or actually, it doesn't matter how nice you paint up any of your zombies, outside of maybe the abominations, which people will look at because, Jesus, they're big. But your rank and file zombies, you're eliminating them from the game so fast that it doesn't matter if you did a golden demon worthy paint job on one of your zombies. People are not going to notice. They're not going to care.
But that's also a mistake on your part of putting that much effort into every one of the models. If we're talking about the cannon fodder stuff, for as much time as you expect the model to stay on the table, give it that much time to paint.
I know that's the best way to do it, but I can't do it. I got to get in there and I got to make it look. I mean, okay, to start with, all of the models, including just the regular zombies that come from Zombicide, that come from CMON, have a overabundance of detail. So they have a lot of little tiny bits that if you don't color them, that it looks kind of weird, or at least it sticks out in my mind. And I'm probably the only person who notices them, because I'm sure the regular rank and file player at the table doesn't give a shit. They don't look at the zombie model that closely. But I know they're there.
What you could do is do the walkers as a kind of dirtier look, sort of sun bleached and old and dirty. Then color up the runners a bit better, and then the big ones, there's fewer of them, so you could do a better job on those. And then the characters, spend all your time on that.
I do definitely spend a lot more time on my abominations and my heroes, but I don't know. I'm just one of those weirdos that likes my rank and file zombies to look good too, and I guess it's because there's some primitive lizard brain part of my brain that says you could always use these in your role-playing games too.
I spent the last 2 months painting about 24 models for some Christmas gifts, and I had to eventually force myself to stop and say, I am overthinking this. I am putting way too much time and effort into this. Yes, it's a gift. It's going to be appreciated. It's going to get some people to start trying out some other war game stuff and not just play Magic. So there's a selfish thing there, but I had to force myself to change how I was approaching it, how I was painting. There's too much time and effort. There's too little time that I have to spend for painting. I can't spend too much of it on a single piece unless it's a centerpiece.
I know that's true. I've started watching a guy's series who he paints all the same stuff that I do. Unfortunately, he does such a beautiful job on every single miniature that he does, and he always brags about like how it doesn't take him that long to make them look that good. And I'm just like, you lying son of a bitch, because that looks way too damn good, and that's way too much fiddly shit on every single miniature for it to not be like close to a masterclass in painting and to get the results that you get.
I don't know, man. It doesn't take me hardly any time at all to get like a perfectly painted, super detailed miniature.
Really?
Yeah, because I either buy them that way or I pay somebody else to paint them because I don't paint them. I don't play with them.
I have a genius way you can do your entire Zombicide collection really, really quickly.
Yeah, 2 rattle cans, huh?
Yeah. No. You get a nice big vat of blue-gray paint and some stickers, right? You
stickers?
Dip them all in, some stickers. You dip them all in the blue-gray paint.
On my Ferrari. Look how amazing that is.
You dip them all in the grey-blue paint, right? And then on the front of every one of your Zombicide boxes, you put the sticker saying Tom Savini edition, Dawn of the Dead.
Oh, come on now. I've actually thought about giving them a Savini look. Actually, you know what the funny thing is? They have the Night of the Living Dead Zombicide. And I did literally try to make the zombies look a little bit more like they were in black and white, as well as the main characters. I was going to do them completely in nothing but black, white, and gray, but just something in my brain said, no, but put a little bit of color on them. Just don't go too hard. And they turned out okay.
There was the colorized version.
Yeah. That's a sad thing about Night of the Living Dead is like we could make a production of Night of the Living Dead, us ourselves. And nobody would, people would bitch about it, but I mean, we could do it. It would probably even make a little bit of money. God. Man. I miss Romero. And now supposedly his final film that he was supposed to be making, his final zombie film, is in production, or they're working on it, or they're working on trying to get it into production or something. I don't know. I don't know that it'll be.
Is that the Island of the Dead one?
Nah, that he already did that one.
No, I know there was that one, but the one that was basically the alternate script for Day of the Dead.
No, I don't think so. But hold on, let me look it up real quick. Legacy, no. George Romero Foundation. Unrealized projects. Okay, so maybe that's it. Damn, there was a lot of shit he wanted to do. Pretty sad that. Twilight of the Dead.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's what it was. It's to be announced is what they have it as, but he conceived of it as his concluding installment because he didn't think that Diary and Survival were where it should end. But let's see. In October 2025, last year, Nicotero stated the film was securing additional financing and that the film would depict a continued evolution of the zombies. And if they've got Greg Nicotero behind it, that gives me a little bit of hope. I mean, at least the zombies will look good. And I'll tell you what, if I had like Jeff Bezos type money or Elon Musk type money, I would, just walk in there and say, okay, look, here's a ton of money. Make this fucking film and let's give George one hell of a send-off.
He needs his money to put a chip in your head, strap you into a basilisk, and send you to South America. So I don't think that's going to happen.
Oh. Well, that's probably not going to happen. He doesn't want my old ass to be strapped into shit.
You're a gamer. It's the brain that matters.
Oh.
Sometimes you might get a cool cyber arm out of it.
That's cool. I mean, I'm already a cyborg though. Damn it, I've got a synthetic mesh. It's holding my guts in. So I'm literally a cyborg. I don't have a belly button anymore.
Who would win? Under a millimeter of micro mesh or an extra burrito?
Definitely the burrito, I think. But the funny thing is when you have this kind of stuff go on, you don't eat a whole lot, like you used to.
Yeah.
But anyway, okay. So, are you guys caught up on Fallout yet, or?
I've only watched the first 2 episodes. I haven't gotten around to the rest yet. My best friend's been complaining about the paladin from the Commonwealth that shows up.
Okay. Well, good news. He had his head smashed in this 3rd episode, so apparently everybody else hated him too. And he was a dick.
His whole thing was I was with him until he started just killing children.
Basically, yeah. Well, I mean, no, he was, I'm sorry, but he was annoying to begin with. I hated him the moment he stepped off the fucking vertibird. But I really did. But yeah, no, he gets his head caved in because he's going to start killing ghoul children. Which is a very,
That just sounds like the Brotherhood to me.
Yeah, that just sounds like the Brotherhood, but yeah, he's going to do that. So I don't know. Maybe this means that Maximus is going to take a different route. I don't know. That story seems to be a little bit more interesting. Interestingly, though, they didn't hook on to Lucy very much, or whatever the hell her name is.
I think that's a mistake too. It's like Fallout has always been about following the Vault Dweller. And it's always been, even though you're dealing with all the different factions and all the different stuff going on, the game has always been the story of the Vault Dweller. I really think them, separating them, splitting them, the way they've tried to shoehorn in the Brotherhood storyline, I think is a failure. I think I think we'd be perfectly fine to have him be that character that pops in and out, but we don't really get to see all of his story on the we don't need to see his story. We need more of the ghoul and Lucy because we need to be following the Vault Dweller.
I agree. And one of the things is we do get some member berries. I mean, we do see the Bison Steve logo and of their hotel and stuff in the background during one of the scenes. And I'm just kind of like, it's a little aggravating because, I've got like, well, let me check right quick. I'll tell you how much I have. It's a bunch. I'll tell you that. Okay, I've got 1,092 hours in Fallout New Vegas.
Yeah.
And, I've seen the wasteland from just about every different direction you can imagine it in New Vegas. And I hate feeling like this series is just using parts of, the game as either member berries or like, oh, look, they put that in there.
I'm keeping I've heard people complaining about the Legion too, but I'm keeping my, I'm reserving that one for a couple of reasons. Because personally, if the Legion is not being taken seriously and is kind of a joke, I 100,000% can see that, because the Legion was built around cults of personality, and this is significantly past the end of New Vegas. Caesar is dead regardless.
Well, apparently he's not, because now they've got two factions of the Legion that have each have a Caesar who are
same Caesar. Is it the same cult of personality, or is it another person who's just using the title?
It's a guy who's using the title pretty obviously, and they even say that Caesar died.
Though, is that you have to have the cult of personality. They fall apart when and you actually see it in the Roman Empire. Well,
that's the problem. It's like
the hyper popular emperor who can be, you had Julius Caesar,
right?
They did kill him to try and stop it, and all it did was elevate his successor.
You're speaking to a historian.
Yeah, like you said, who's also a super popular and super charismatic individual. But the title didn't carry over to the people who, didn't have the strength of personality to carry it.
Well, that's what I was trying to tell you, is the fact that I don't know what their personality is like, because they both Caesars, you only meet one of them, never says a fucking word. Eventually towards the end of the episode, he says a couple of things, but it's not like anything prominent or anything pertinent, really. It's more like kind of like, go there, do this.
Like I said, I've got to watch the show to find out exactly how I feel about it, to watch those last several episodes. But I can very easily see the Legion, which was kind of a little bit ridiculous, but at the same time very menacing and very serious, to be taken seriously during Fallout New Vegas, devolving into that part of the Dark Knight where he goes, "What's the difference between you and me? I'm not wearing hockey pads." They become Batman and hockey pads real fast without that driving force behind them. So
no, they really they seem like jokes. They really do. Especially the guy who's wearing, supposed to be wearing the dog headpiece and everything. It looks like he ripped it off of some fluffy teddy bear. He looks the worst out of all the legionaries.
Like one of those little EDM.
Yeah.
Has the hand things in the bottom.
It almost looks like a Ushanka. It's that bad. But and this is the part that really chaps my ass worse than anything. Okay, they've got somebody dressed up in Legate Lanius's armor. And we know that more copies of that armor exist because, we obviously played the long, or the Courier's Mile or whatever the hell it was. The thing where you go see Odysseus.
Yeah,
or not Odysseus. Yeah. And we see the marked men who, try to dress up in Caesar's Legion's armor and all that stuff. And a lot of them have the Linnaeus headpiece and all these other things. So we get a guy who looks like he's dressed in Linnaeus's armor. He seems big and bad. He cuts a slave's throat just like it's nothing. And it's horrifying and there's blood everywhere. And then 5 seconds later, or actually 2 seconds later, without missing a beat, he pulls his helmet off and it's fucking Macaulay Culkin. And I'm just kind of like, the tone of this show is all over the goddamn place, man.
Well, it's a casting choice, which, it's probably not the best casting choice, but,
Well, okay, but it's like, okay, she's standing in front of Caesar, and Caesar never says a word. It's Macaulay Culkin saying everything. I'm just like, this is fucking dumb, man. It's like she took a back seat in this show to the Ghoul, which, granted, I'm okay with to some degree, because obviously, every minute the Ghoul is on the screen, he just kind of becomes the main character of the show.
Yeah, Walton Goggins really chews the scenery. He just chews the scenery up big time.
He does. He's an amazing character, and I hate to say this, but it's like, Amazon, if you're going to do something with this show, make a Ghoul spinoff when this show ends. Seriously, because everybody will watch the Ghoul spinoff. I mean, he's basically got the kind of popularity that Daryl Dixon had in The Walking Dead.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
So he definitely chews the scenery. And he's I think he's the strongest character there. And a lot of that's also because you got a fantastic actor playing him.
Yes.
He's got a meaningful callback to, something, to a modern time,
the before times,
which helps. And he gets the benefit of being able to be two people. Like
he's the most grounded character because you get more on him. I mean, if you go through both seasons so far, you know more about the Ghoul than you know about Lucy.
Well, yeah, and Lucy also, all you really get is I'm in the vault and now I'm outside and I'm kind of the fish out of water. With Ghoul, you get a distinct benefit in the fact that he's got built-in character growth that you just get to fill in on your own in the background, because see the hopeful, patriotic, guy doing his best and being having a moral character, wanting to do what's best, struggling with the fact that he's done the advertising for Vault Tech and then found out that they're the spawn of Satan.
Yeah.
And then you get to see him as the bitter nihilist, nothing matters, just completely no faith in humanity Ghoul. And your brain just gets to kind of populate and wonder about all the stuff that made those two radically different characters connect. And then you put a powerful actor on it, and you just got a recipe for something that everybody's going to want to see.
Yeah. And, just like I said, callbacks to the show. I mean, he goes to Camp Golf to go find, what's left of the California Republic troops, the NCR. And of course there's nobody there. But in a strange turn of events that I don't understand, you have Victor the Securitron there. And I'm like, why are you here? But the other thing is, I don't know what the hell it is, why they didn't get William Sadler to come back and voice Victor. They got someone else, and 1,000 hours of Fallout New Vegas and hearing Victor and hearing, William Sadler deliver all those lines, you get the distinct impression of his voice. In fact, I pegged it for William Sadler the moment Victor started talking. I was like, oh my God, that's William Sadler, which is one of the cool things about hearing great voice actors.
Yeah.
And so to hear someone else's voice coming out of Victor just kind of makes me cringe a little bit. Like, we've got the Temu version of...
Well, don't forget the fact that this might be down to was it not a guild, a union issue where he's not part of the actors union, so he may not be eligible to be brought in.
I mean, okay, Caster, but I mean, it's like they'll waste money putting Macaulay Culkin in here, but they won't get William Sadler to do the voice of the character that he's known for.
I'm kind of on both sides of it. On one hand, I knew I was going to struggle with no Rene Beauharnois.
Yeah.
And also, as a King of the Hill guy, having to listen to Khan and Ted Wasanasong and Dale in the new series because their voice actors, dead voice actors and other changes. It's like, this isn't Khan. This is damn sure not Ted Wasanasong, and Dale is all wrong, and it kind of throws me off a little bit. And I have to kind of break free of having grown up watching the show or having watched it when it had its original run for 14 years.
Yeah.
So I get the idea of that voice actor, but when I look at a show like Fallout and they do this, it's like, I mean, we're years in the future. It's like, I mean, he has a cowboy program. Who says the voice box on this particular Securitron is not different? Who says that the recording is not altered in some way? I can, that's the kind of thing I can deal with. And the fact that House is there and is still manipulating the world makes sense for Victor to be present. So it's not just hey, we shoehorned this in for no reason. I think if they have Yes Man, it's going to be a problem to a certain extent, except that he's supposed to exist forever.
But here's the thing, though. Here's the thing. Okay, obviously they couldn't get Rene Auberjonois back because he's dead, unfortunately, even though he was the distinctive voice of House. However, the guy they got to replace him, Justin Theroux, he's fucking great.
He is.
He is really good. So I don't have a problem with that, even if it isn't the original guy. Because, I mean, he passed away. If William Sadler passed away, I probably wouldn't have a problem with Victor. But William Sadler's still around, and I think he's still doing stuff. Like I said, they'll waste money getting Macaulay Culkin in there for the cameo, and they won't get William Sadler to do Victor.
Well, and let's be honest, Macaulay Culkin probably didn't cost him all that much.
I mean, I don't know.
I mean, what they do, take a bottle of malt liquor and some cigarettes over by whatever mini storage he lives in now and say, hey, you want to do some acting?
I guess. Yeah. Anyway, I'm not really disappointed with this episode. I'm just kind of... They're showing off a bunch of characters and places and things that I'm familiar with on a kind of an intimate level. Because I've played Fallout New Vegas so much. And somehow seeing them in reality makes them... I mean, it really makes you see how cheesy and stupid they look.
I think they are probably doing, and I noticed this just in the first 2 episodes and throughout the first series, the first season. They are jingling keys a little bit too much. You can tell that they are they're leaning very heavily on show them something from New Vegas or show them something from Fallout 3.
Yep.
Or show them this, that, or the other. It's like, I'll tell you what'll piss me off. And I mean, hopefully none of their writers are anywhere near our comment section.
I doubt it.
Because if they hear it, they might decide this is what it needs to be. Well, Shady Sands got nuked, right?
Yeah.
And it more or less, we could kind of get the idea that it got nuked by Lucy's dad.
Yeah, it did.
How much would it piss you off if they come back and the big twist at the end of the season or the big twist next season is that Lucy's dad is the courier and he went down the lonesome road and nuked Shady Sands?
Nah.
I mean, wouldn't that piss you off?
I mean, it doesn't even make any sense. It doesn't even make any sense. And actually, I think that's the one thing that kind of annoys me about a lot of this is the fact that they don't really reference any of the previous player characters from any of the previous. Well, I mean, they do once. At one point, somebody says, some wandering hero came along and, oh no, wait a minute. That's from Fallout New Vegas. Never mind. That didn't actually happen in the show. They just don't acknowledge that there was a courier or that there was the guy from Vault 33 or any of that stuff.
Well, I mean, don't put it past them, man. They need member berries.
I guess so. And they are, I mean, and that's the problem. This season seems like it's playing into the member berries harder than usual. I mean, yes, I'm happy to see Novak and Dinky the dinosaur, even if he is facing the wrong way. Yes, I'm happy to see the cons. I'm not happy with how they portray the cons because they all seem stupid.
Well, I mean, in New Vegas, they're all drug addicts anyway. So, I mean, they look a bunch of meth heads to me.
Yeah, I mean, that was an accurate characterization. I don't know how they would ever get the gumption to go and take out Novak, but I mean, okay, it's been a while. But Caesar's Legion feels like the same kind of thing with the Great Cons. Like they're just in there just to jangle keys in front of you. It's like you could have cut that whole section of Caesar's Legion out, and it wouldn't have had any effect on the plot whatsoever. Other than the fact that, they tie Lucy up to a cross to crucify her, and, the ghoul has to come along and save her, and in the process, get the two camps fighting each other. They also have a slight little cameo by what's left of the NCR Rangers forces. And, of course, it's a black woman who manages to get the drop on the ghoul somehow. Because, I mean, whatever.
But they've got a bunch of conflicting goals for the series, right? They need to appeal to a general audience. They have the games company looking over their shoulder. They've made it canonical. For those who've played the game, they want you to feel extra invested and to see things that you recognize, right? But that also means that they can't lean into what your characters actually did in the games. So if you decapitated Caesar's Legion and they disbanded, then you've got no Caesar's Legion to bring in. If the New California Republic is completely destroyed, then you can't bring in their military or rangers or whatever else.
Well, they're pretty much gone anyway. They
seem to have reset a whole bunch of stuff. So you get to see bits and pieces, but it's like everything you did in the games ends up not really mattering because whatever the newest thing is has to take priority, and that's the series. I can understand the compromises and so on.
I don't know
and why they occur.
They really wanted to play with power armor too, so they had to make the Brotherhood of Steel a bigger and better established faction than it actually is. Because remember, by the time of New Vegas, the West Coast Brotherhood is basically on its dying days. So, I think they would have been way better suited to have the Brotherhood, if they're going to have a Brotherhood storyline, have the Brotherhood struggling. Maybe Maximus is trying to, do something to try and keep them alive on their last legs. Finds one of those stupid ham radios that are all over the place in every Fallout game that don't do anything. You turn on the ham radio and it just turns on.
Yeah.
And it does nothing. There you go. Have one of those stupid ham radios there, and he can turn the thing on and and kind of like in Walking Dead, wait a second, this radio found something, and next thing you know, now you got the Pridwin and all the, that happened, say, episode 2 of a season, and then by episode 5 or 6, last episode of the season, you can kind of end it with here come the reinforcements and the legions of power armored East Coast Brotherhood come in.
Well, okay, they've already established that this is past Fallout 4.
Yeah.
So apparently this show happens between Fallout 4 and whatever Fallout 5 is going to be.
Yeah.
So we already knew that the Brotherhood wasn't dead. They came back in some way because the Brotherhood played such a big part of Fallout 4.
That's the East Coast Brotherhood. Then that's what I'm saying. The West Coast Brotherhood was basically wiped out during New Vegas. They even talked about how the California Brotherhood was kind of on its last legs. But the East Coast Brotherhood from Fallout 3 and then Fallout 4 was a major power. So you got the West Coast on its dying legs, getting a radio message out in episode 2, and then in episode 5, here comes the reinforcements of the East Coast Brotherhood, reunite the two factions. Now they're a major player, but you also have the arguments and philosophy from where they diverged.
Well, it looks like they've got like 5 different Brotherhood factions. By the way, something I'm going to go ahead and just say right now. The Paladin who showed up on the Vertibird, his last name is Harkness. And if you don't recognize that name, you'll remember Fallout 3, where you actually meet a security officer named Harkness on the big ship, which I forget what it's called. But anyway, yeah, you find out he's actually an android who escaped from the Institute in Fallout 4. And you have to basically either send him back to get reprogrammed, or you tell them, like he's dead or whatever like that, and get his chip. But regardless, the point is that character's name is Harkness. This Paladin is named Harkness. And when I first saw him and heard his name, I thought, oh, it's a fucking synth from Fallout 4. But considering how fast he got his skull caved in the next episode, if he is a synth, I don't know how that, that would explain a lot if that Paladin's particular branch is like all synths that were, subverted by the Institute, because they were already, the whole storyline in Fallout 4 with Paladin Dance already shows the fact that the Institute has kind of got the goods on everybody.
That might be acknowledging how much people dislike the synth as a plot element.
Well, once again, remember who your showrunners are. The same people behind Westworld. So they're no stranger to that. And honestly, I absolutely 100% figure at some point down the line, they're going to have to get to that question about what happened to the Institute, what happened to the synths, are the synths still running around? Because that whole can of worms got opened up in Fallout 4. And these folks have already been dealing with this shit with the Westworld series, which they spectacularly managed to botch. But also, once again, I think it's another case of, the writer's thinly disguised fetish, with the whole mind control shit going in as well. So I'm a little worried about future direction for the Fallout show, but you can kind of see where some of these plot threads are going to start getting picked up from previous Fallout games. And Ironcaster looks bored. You need to catch up on that show, dude. And you're muted.
I need to really get around to doing some proper playthrough of Fallout at some point.
You haven't played Fallout?
I mean, I've run around in the games. I've done some stuff, but I've not done a proper full playthrough. Usually I play till I get bored, and then I kind of moved on to the next thing. Kind of like Skyrim.
I'm dying inside a little bit, but that's okay. I can understand that, because I kind of do the same thing too. I play till I get kind of tired of it and move on to the next thing, and my hyper focus resets itself. I am strongly considering playing yet another New Vegas playthrough, though.
Right now, it's been Peyton Minis.
I'm too busy playing Earthbound.
Earthbound, like the old Nintendo game?
Yeah.
Yeah. Why do you think you brought it up earlier?
Oh, is it?
No, I brought up Terra Enigma earlier.
Yeah, he brought Terra Enigma, but
well, no, I thought you brought up Unboxed Earthbound.
He did.
Oh yeah, we were talking about video game because we were talking about stuff being ridiculous and how much it was online, and
yep,
I said that ridiculous.
Okay, Mercurius, you've never played Fallout or seen a series. Okay, well, I mean, maybe that's just not your bag of tea. That's okay. I mean, I get it. If you're outside the whole thing, then yeah, that some people are like that. They don't want to get involved, and that's okay. I mean, there's people who don't read comics, and if they watch a Marvel movie, they come into it not knowing anything about any of it. So that's fine. But it is a pop culture thing. It is our current topic. And I don't want to talk about Stranger Things, the last season, because that would mean I have to sit down and watch it. And I'm looking forward to watching that about as much as I'm looking forward to a hemorrhoid. I mean, the first season of Stranger Things was great. I loved it. I watched it twice after I saw it, and every season thereafter just kind of seems a little bit more directionless, and you got a bunch of 20-year-olds trying to role play as children, and I'm just kind of like, you guys are getting less believable every year.
Well, that's why they've ended it now. So.
Yeah, I think so, and I think they're gonna spin it off. They're absolutely gonna spin it off because it's too hot of a property. My question, though, is the Duffer Brothers are moving out of Netflix and they're going over to Paramount. And I'm not sure when that is supposed to happen, but I think it's 2028. But when that happens, Netflix will still own the property of Stranger Things, and they'll have to hand it to somebody.
Well, at the end of the day, the Duffer Brothers are going to get probably get an executive producer credit on whatever gets put out, just as per contractual obligation. So they're set. They don't care. They're off to do other things.
The one thing that made me upset about the entire Stranger Things show is the fact that their whole thing was they kept saying, well, we don't want to have a bunch of shock deaths, and we have to consider deaths and how they affect all the other characters in the show. And I'm just kind of like, so you keep introducing characters in every season just to kill them off in the same season. I'm sensing plot armor that is so heavy that, you know, it literally glares at you from the screen every moment, you know, and all the fake out deaths and stuff. So
I don't know. I've enjoyed it all the way through to varying degrees.
Really? Have you seen it all the way to the end?
I haven't seen to the very end yet. Endings are not something that modern shows tend to do well, so I'm not expecting much. But
I heard
I'm enjoying it.
I heard it's not bad. I mean, I've heard two different versions of it, basically. I mean, Drinker thought it was okay. Angry Joe and them said there were parts of it that were, you know, good and bad. They left it kind of ambiguous here and there. But the bottom line on Stranger Things the last season is kind of like, you know, they're having to leave childhood behind.
Yeah.
And so I guess in a way it's a little bit like The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe for modern sensibilities.
I kind of like Linda Hamilton being a baddie.
Who?
Linda Hamilton. Sarah Connor.
Oh, I heard they didn't do anything with her.
Not much, but yeah, you can see her channeling some of that Terminator energy. It's quite good.
Oh my God, I haven't seen the Albert Pyun cut of Captain America in forever. And the guy who, Greg Salinger, the guy who played Captain America in that, the ears on his cowl were made of rubber. They were. Anyway, we're over our hour, so shall we go do some other things for tonight?
Sounds fun to me.
All right. Anybody wants to pop into a game of 7 Days to Die? Let me know, because I'm running some experiments on some new mods. Grim?
Fun.
Yes, I will probably be able to join you for a while once I caffeinate.
Okay.
And eat some
pie. All right. Yep. Okay, Ironcaster, it looks good. Is that what you wanted to hear?
Yeah.
Good job. You want me to pat you on the head, give you a cookie?
Sure. We'll put it on the refrigerator.
We will.
I'll add Mags to the bottom.
There you go. All right, everybody. Thank you all for joining us. Didn't have a lot of viewers tonight, but I don't know. Maybe we're losing all of our audience. The channel's tanking, guys. 2026 is going to be the last year of the Week in
My
Geek.
channel's under attack.
Yeah.
Everyone's still hungover.
Maybe so. After 2 days?
Yes.
That's some serious drinking.
It was.
All right. Well, y'all take care, everybody out there in YouTube land. We'll see y'all later. Say good night.
Peace.
Good night, Gracie.
Good night.
On behalf of the staff of the Independent California Motel, I wish you all sweet dreams.